All right, guys. Quick little video before we get to talking about the tune on the truck. I've been doing some test drives today. In the middle of it, my door would automatically lock itself. The little knob dealio would just fall down into the door and lock the door. So basically, if you didn't have the keys with you, you'd lock yourself out. Obviously, it still works from the inside. So I Googled it. Not much on the internet with it. The Explorers have a similar issue from the similar year range, but there's this little circular spring here, and this was sitting in the bottom of the door, broken, and then there's this little piece here. So I looked around, couldn't figure out really what it was. I was like, all the springs seem to be going, but this piece right here rocks back and forth, and it was just rocking freely, so basically the weight of the rod would push it down into the locked position. So, just kind of playing with it, I saw that there was a little channel right here, and then underneath, you can't really see it, there's another channel right there that gets pushed into the housing as it, when it gets locked up like this. And so, the way this works is that little circular spring there is basically like an overlock. So, when you have it unlocked like that with the knob up, that's towards the top of the door, the spring holds it open. But then when you actually select it locked like that, it overlocks. You can't, it's hard to tell in there. Maybe I can actuate it here with the video. You can see that it kind of deforms and actually goes past the other way, and the spring holds it closed that way. That's how you're able to get the door to stay locked or unlocked based on that little spring over traveling its center point there. So I got this fixed. I'll get it back from the truck, and we'll talk about the test drives here in a minute. Before we move on to the test drives, I forgot the most important part of this was that this little spring here is not something you just go by to the hardware store and buy. I looked around, there's nothing in the lock section, couldn't find anything online to, ship to myself. So what I did was went to Lowe's, and in the hardware section with the gate springs, they have various sizes of these little things. So I just kind of went and matched the diameter to the old one there, and it's pretty close. So what I did was I just cut out a couple coils and bent my own tabs using the pair of needle nose and the vise. And that was pretty easy. Hey guys, update for Columbus Day. Did some testing today, got a couple runs in. Initially we started working with the bogging issue. We looked at the stock tune. It's super conservative on the tip-in fuel and also the amount of timing that it's given the truck. It was about 15 degrees, and coyotes are generally happy in the low to mid 20s. So we upped it. We were shooting for like 23 or 24 degrees of timing. The log shows that we were getting just about that, and then the lambdas are getting pretty close. These engines are pretty happy at about a 0.83, and we're getting anywhere from a 0.77 to that 0.83. So we're getting closer on the tune. Definitely tough without a dyno. And then these last couple runs, we're back to working on the shift points now that we at least got the bog mostly figured out. It doesn't drop an RPM when it launches. It holds about 1600 as the converter locks up and gets moving on. So with the shift points, Caleb has been messing with the tables a whole bunch, and he thinks that he finally got it to where it will shift off the RPM commanded, which is one of the issues we were having, was he was having to put in arbitrary mile per hour figures because it was hitting limits on other parameters in the tune. I'm not going to pretend to be the expert on that, but we're shooting right now for about 6700 on the shifts, and we're not getting that. This last run was anywhere from like 5.9 to 6.3, so we'll keep refining it, keep working at it. I'll be out of town next weekend, so won't be getting a whole lot of updates or progress. Stay tuned. I did have someone ask for a walk around of the truck. Most of my progress has been built or documented in forum posts. I will link those down below. So you can go ahead and read through those, kind of see the history of the truck and what I've gone through building it over the last 3 years. But I'll make a consolidated walkthrough so you guys can kind of see the truck as it sits today. Stay tuned for that. Have a great week. I'm out.